The first law, and I would argue potentially one of the most important, especially in today's day and age, today's flashy social media age, is that private victories come before public applause. Everyone sees the end final result. Everyone sees the supercars, lavish life, this, that, but they don't understand what it takes to get there. And I always say that for every public victory, you have to put anywhere from about 100 to 1,000 hours in privately. So for every, okay, you had your moment, whether that's signing your first client in your business, whether that's making your first sale, whether that's buying your first car, even if it's some beat up BMW, but it's your dream car. For every one of those moments, because that's what people dream of. People dream of that public victory moment, that moment where I've made it. It takes about 100 to 1,000 hours of private victory, stuff that people don't see, stuff that doesn't go on social media, stuff that is the boring, tedious work. Those private victories stack up to a public victory. It's funny, I have this tattoo right here. I got it in my teenage years and it literally says private victories. And that's because I was 19 at the time. I had started my business 3 or 4 years prior. And I'd done quite well for myself at an early age. And I've always been into horology. I've always been a big watch fan. And I'd be wearing these expensive timepieces, these $50, $100, $200,000 watches. And I understand, especially back then, 7 years ago, there weren't many 19-year-olds walking around with these kind of watches. And I would always see people look at the watch and then look at me, and it was almost like kind of a joke to myself, like, oh, you see the watch, but you don't see the private victories, because it would literally be right next to it. Like, yeah, sure, maybe you see the public victory, but you don't see all the private victories that went into it in order to make it possible. And I implore you, anytime you see a public victory, anytime you see someone online or one of your friends and you see them have this public win, ask yourself, am I willing to put 100 to 1,000 hours in order to get a public victory like they've gotten? And unfortunately, if the answer is no, well, then you have to tone down your desires. Either you increase your effort or you tone down your desires. You can't have both. You can't have your cake and eat it too. There's no such thing.